Well, joining us now is Suffolk County District Attorney Rachael Rollins. DA Rollins, thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We have seen now largely peaceful protests in Boston for a week now. We have also, though, seen some looting, some violence, some rioting. What's your reaction to the violence that we've seen as a part of these protests?
It's unfortunate. The violence against the police, against our community and civilians, and against the hardworking people that own storefronts and businesses all up and down not only Newbury Street but elsewhere is unacceptable, and it does not honor the memory of George Floyd. It is unfortunate that those few, compared to the tens of thousands of individuals, Liam, that showed up and peacefully protested.
You were criticized by some last year for dropping some charges against protesters of a different rally. There have been more than 50 arrests with the protests here in Boston so far. They range from disorderly conduct all the way to assault and battery. Will you drop any of the charges from these protests?
We are in a different circumstance than we were in other circumstances. This is not, a handful of elderly protesters outside of the sheriff's office upset about ICE detainees. We are seeing people looting and breaking into buildings and burning our city. That's not what we stand for. That's not what these community activists who actually are building up the community, that's not what they are about. We have been looking at every single one of these cases and have moved forward in the overwhelming majority of those.
You spoke yesterday at a rally outside the State House of minority leaders in Massachusetts calling for changes to state law. What changes specifically do you want to see in policing in Boston?
So I want to start by saying I am so proud of Commissioner Gross, who came out early and stated he disagreed with the behaviors of the disgraced members of law enforcement out in Minnesota, and stood firmly in a statement by NOBLE, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement, which I am a member of, as is Sheriff Tompkins in Suffolk County. We wrote a statement, completely denouncing that reprehensible and murderous behavior of those men in law enforcement. Why I stood with the members of the legislature is just, I think it's time for us to start having real conversations about policing. None of us up there have been, to my knowledge, police officers. It's an incredibly hard job, Liam. I respect the majority of police officers that go to work every day and are honorable and decent and kind and culturally competent people. Our outrage is not aimed at them. It is aimed at the rogue criminal officers like the ones we saw who came into contact with George Floyd. And Liam, why I had my list of 15 crimes that overwhelmingly I didn't want to prosecute in the first instance is because the more interactions police have with certain poor and Black and brown communities at the low level, the more opportunity there is for things to escalate.
After this speech that you gave yesterday in front of the State House on policing in America, the Boston Police Patrolmen's Association released a statement about your speech, and they said, quote, "We condemn your reckless statements labeling all police officers murderers and the corresponding tweets that undoubtedly incited violence against officers." What's your response to that?
I'm still waiting with bated breath to read their statement denouncing the murder of George Floyd and their peers who engaged in that criminal homicidal behavior. So once I get that, I'd love to comment. I don't know whether the check is in the mail or the letter's in the mail, but we'll see what they say about that.
What is your relationship with the police union at this point and the police officers on the ground? Do you feel you have a good relationship with them?
So I have the utmost respect for, as I said earlier, the upstanding members of law enforcement. I've made it very clear, Liam, if you are a police officer that goes to work every day and does your job, if you don't have racist, social media or emails or, tweets that you are engaging in, if you don't have numerous excessive force complaints and, violations in your record, like the officer that killed George Floyd did, we will get along quite well. and I will be your strongest ally and advocate. But if you are any of those things that I previously said, no, we aren't going to get along, because I am no longer turning away like many people who have sat in DA's seats have done in the past to look the other way as injustice is done.
Suffolk County District Attorney Rachael Rollins, thank you so much for coming on our show. We appreciate it.
Always.